Most flippers know what they do. Very few know why they do it. That gap is the reason most memberships never launch. Let me show you how to fix that. I'm going to show you how to fix that today with the Content Clarity Framework. Hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. If you've made it since part one of this series, I want you to know something. You have really put the work in. I'm really proud of you. That work you've done over the past few weeks, most people never do. So that puts you ahead of your competition already. So if you haven't done that, you can go back and watch the videos and you can pick up where we left off. I've got all of them in the membership, so you can go complete all this on your own schedule. So if you didn't get it done and that didn't happen, let me tell you why that matters. Today in part 7 is the final part of the Content Clarity Framework, and I've been looking forward to this the most because this is the part that most content courses skip entirely, and I think it's the most important part. Today we're going to be talking about the content. We're talking about why you do, what you believe, what you refuse to accept, and what promise you're going to make to the members who trust you enough to join your membership. So we're talking today about our philosophy, and that is the deepest layer of our brand. So drop a 7 in the comments right now if you're here and you're excited and you're ready to get started. Everyone that's with me, and even if you're watching this as a replay, I still want you to drop a 7 in the comments. I do read all the comments, and I want to know that you're playing full out and you're engaged in this. So right now, drop a 7 in the comments if you've completed all 7 parts of the content. Well, all 6 parts of the Content Clarity Framework. We're doing the 7th one today. I really want to celebrate you. So before we get into today's training, I want to give you a full picture of what we've done together in this entire series. So you went from having no idea at all. Maybe in part 1 we figured out who you're going to serve, what type of membership you're going to build, and what transformation are you going to give those members. Then we moved on to part 2. That's where we started developing our goals. This is the exact system that we're going to walk our members through. Part 3 and 4, we mapped out every objection our audience is going to have. And we even went underneath those objections to discover the false beliefs that are driving them. Because when you understand the belief, you can tell a different story to change it. Part 5, we wrote our brand's movie story. That was the 7-beat story that became the foundation of every ad, every email, every piece of content going forward. Part 6, that was last week, we discovered the 4 A's. That's covering 4 different parts, 4 different content types to make sure that we're reaching every type of person in our audience so that every single type of person has a chance to know us and connect with us. So today is part 7. We're going to complete the framework with the one thing that turns the content strategy into a brand that people believe in, our philosophy. So here's the thing about philosophy. We've been building content for weeks now. We've got our goals mapped out. We have our objections mapped out. We have our story written. And we know the 4 A's, we have them all identified. We have more content ideas right now than most people will ever have. But here's the difference between a creator who just posts and a brand that people follow. People follow content, but people join brands. And the difference is our philosophy. When Marcus is on Facebook or YouTube and he finds me, he's not just looking for information. He's looking for someone who sees the world the way he does. Someone who believes the same things he believes. Someone who's mad about the same things he's mad about. Someone who's working towards the same future he is working towards. When he finds that person, he doesn't just watch, he stays. And it's my philosophy that makes him stay. As we learned, Donald Miller, who taught us the story brand framework, and we use that in part 5, he teaches that the best brands are not just about selling something. They're the brands that stand for something. The people who share our philosophy will follow us for years. And the ones who don't, they were never our people. And that's okay. Philosophy doesn't attract everyone. That's the point. We want to weed out the people that are not right for our membership and not right for what we're trying to build. So here's a question that I want you to sit with for a moment. What is the one thing about the house flipping industry that you think is fundamentally wrong? What do you see happening to other flippers that makes you so frustrated? Drop it in the comments right now. I genuinely want to know. And yes, I do read all the comments, and I'm going to respond back to as many as I possibly can. That is what this makes this group so special. If I can get it out. Having trouble talking today. So here's how the philosophy section is going to work. This is the philosophy section of the Content Clarity Framework. There's 3 parts to it. The first part is, what do we believe? This is the convictions that drive everything that we teach, everything that we do. The second is what we stand for, the things that we refuse to accept as normal, the problems you are not okay with other people just living with. And the third is our promise to our members. That's the specific commitment that we're making to every person who trusts us enough to join our memberships. So let me walk you through mine. So you can see it like I've done in every one of these trainings. I've shown you what I've filled out in these templates and how you can do it as well. So again, if you don't have the Content Clarity Framework yet, drop me a line. I'll send it over right away to you. There's no pitch, there's no funnel, there's no email to give me. I'm just going to give you the tool. So here's mine. And I want to be honest with you. Writing this was one of the hardest things that I've had to write. This is the hardest part of the entire framework because it's real. It's not just strategy. This is what I truly believe. And putting it out loud in public, in front of people, that is being vulnerable. And that's hard for most people to do. But it also is known as one of the most powerful content that we will ever create because it's something true. So when I stop trying to be so polished and just try to tell the truth, tell exactly what's happening, that's when your truth really comes out, and that's when you truly start to attract your members. So here's what I believe. I believe that house flippers who do quality work, they serve their community, they show up every single day, they deserve more than starting from zero every single deal. After every single deal closes, they're starting from zero. I believe they deserve more. Okay, I also believe that the most dangerous moment in a flipper's business is not a bad deal. It's having no income that survives a bad deal. Because when the money is desperate, decisions get desperate. And desperate decisions cost more than any safety net ever would. I believe that the knowledge that we have earned from every flip that we've done and the problems that we've solved, the contractors that we've managed, the markets that we've learned, and the mistakes that we've made along the way is worth far more than we will ever, it's worth far more than we are currently getting paid today. And we're not getting paid for that knowledge because we're not putting it out there in a special way like I'm trying to get you to do to build your own membership. I also believe that a membership is not something that you build after you've made it. It's what you build while you're still in it. Because the safety net only works if it's already there when the market shifts. I believe that community is not something that is nice to have. For flippers who are mid-deal, when things go sideways, it's a strategic advantage. The flippers who survive hard markets are the ones who had people they could call before they needed them. Now here's what I stand for. Actually, no, this is what I stand against. I stand against the idea that house flipping is a business. It's not a business, it's a transaction. A real business has income that does not stop when the work stops. Flipping alone, no matter how good you are at it, is not a business. It's a very skilled hustle. And I refuse to pretend otherwise. I stand against the guru model. I'm not on stage teaching from a safe place. I started my first flip in August of 2025. The cabinet maker delayed me 2 months when money was already tight. The market shifted mid-rehab. The house sat for 8 months. It sold twice and fell through twice. I built the real estate growth program in the middle of all that. Not because I had figured it out, but because I needed it before it existed. I stand against the idea that you need to be on top of your game. You need to be a top expert before you have anything worth teaching. You do not need to be at the top of the mountain. You just need to be one step ahead of the person behind you, and you're willing to reach back and lift them up. I stand against the belief that recurring income is something you build after your flipping business is stable. That stability will never come from flipping alone. The recurring income is what creates the stability. Now here's my promise to every member. I promise that I will never teach from a place I have not been. Every strategy, every system, every step inside the real estate growth program comes from something I have done, actually built, or actually survived. I promise that I will always tell you the truth about what it takes. Building a membership is not passive. It does not happen overnight. The first 90 days is all about the data, not the results. And if you stay the course, the data shows you exactly where to put your effort. I promise that your success inside the community matters to me. Not because it looks good for the program, because I know what it costs to get here. The late nights, the job site stress, the conversations with your spouse about whether it's going to work. That cost is real, and it deserves a real return. I promise that the community will always be a safe place to take a risk, to share your win before it's finished, to ask a question that you think sounds dumb, to say, I am scared out loud without anyone telling you that means you're not cut out for this. I promise I will help you by teaching you to be self-sufficient, and I am here to guide you, not to do it for you. My goal is to help all flippers stop starting from zero after every deal closes. Okay, now it's your turn. I want you to open the Content Clarity Framework template to part 7, and I want you to complete this right now. It's 3 sections. I don't want you to wait an hour. I don't want you to wait a day. I don't want you to wait next week. I want you to do it right now. While we're here, we're all here together. Because this is what happens. Most people say, well, I'll get to it, but they never come back. So it never gets done. So the first section is the I believe section. I want you to write down 3 to 5 convictions that drive your work. And I want you to start each one with the words, I believe, and then I want you to make it specific to your experience as a flipper. So what do you believe about the flipping industry? Don't write what you think it should be. Write what you believe it should be. When you're at the job site and something goes sideways and you have to make a call, write down those things. And when you finish that, then we're going to move to the I stand against section. And if you're watching this as a replay, just stop the video, give yourself time to complete these. And if you don't get all of those written down, all 3 to 5, just write down enough so it triggers your memory so you know what you were thinking right here and right now. So we can keep this video going so it's not going to be as long as the past videos. So the section I stand against, I want you to write down 2 to 3 things that you refuse to accept as normal in this industry. This is the place to get out your frustrations. The things that make you want to say, why does nobody talk about this? That frustration, that's your philosophy trying to get out. So now is a safe place and a safe time to let it out. Again, just write down enough so that it'll trigger your memory and you'll know what you were talking about so you can come back and finish this when you have time. If you're watching the replay, stop the video and do it right now. The next section is my promise. This is where you write down your commitment that you're making to every person who joins your membership. And this is not a marketing line. It's a real promise that you're making to your members. Pretend like they're sitting across from a table from you right now. What would you say to them that would be absolutely honest? Again, not a marketing line, just something that you're going to promise to give them if they join your membership right now. And when you have written every line of your philosophy, I want you to share it in the comments. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be true. I want to read every single one, and I want the rest of the community to read them as well. So let's talk about what you now have. You have started part 1 of this framework with a topic, just an idea, a hunch. That might be something that might be worth teaching. And now you've ended part 7 with a complete content system, a specific audience, a mapped out transformation, every objection addressed, every false belief uncovered. You've created your brand story that the entire system works off of. 4 content types that make sure that you speak to every type of person in your audience, and a philosophy that tells the world exactly who you are and what you stand for. That is not a content calendar. That's a brand. And nobody can copy it because it came from your exact life. They can say the words, but they're not going to have the true feeling because they're not in the middle of it the way you are and the way you truly experienced it. So here's what I want to do before we close this video. Step 1, I want you to complete part 7 of your template right now. I want you to complete all 3 sections. Then step 2, I want you to go back through all 7 parts. And I want you to read it aloud. I want you to read it from start to finish. Does it truly sound like you? Does the transformation make sense? Does the philosophy connect back to the story that you wrote in part 5, your movie story? If something doesn't feel real, now is the time to fix it before you start recording all of your videos. Step 3, I want you to share your completed 1-paragraph brand story from part 5 in the Flip and Build community. I want you to tag me in the comment and I want you to share that 1 paragraph. I want to read every single one and I want to respond personally. This community is built on seeing each other's work. Step 4, I want you to pick 1 piece of content from your power wall. Any one. And I want you to record it this week. Make yourself a promise, make a commitment right now. I also want you to comment that in the community. Just the title of the video that you're going to record this week before the week's up. And then once you record it, I want you to come back and tell the community, I did it. And we're going to celebrate your win. Because the framework only works if the content gets made. And if you've never recorded a video and you're not comfortable doing it, you're just a beginner, that's okay. That's actually a good thing. It's going to make you human. People are going to relate to you better because they're not going to see you as some polished guru. You're going to say a lot and okay a lot, and you're going to skip and stutter, and that's fine. Just get the content recorded, get it up. You'll get more comfortable as you go along with it. And the last question of this entire series, and I want this one answered. What is the one thing that you want your membership to give your family that your current income does not from your flips alone? Is it stability? Is it time? Maybe it's legacy. Maybe it's something else altogether. Drop it in the comments and let me know what is the one thing that you want your membership to give you that your flipping business has not been able to give you. I want to take a moment before I let you go. When we started this series, I had just been through the hardest stretch of my flipping journey. The market shifted, the house sat, deals fell through, money was tight. And instead of hiding all of that and cleaning it up before I put it on camera, I decided to build it in public. I decided to show you what it looks like to build a membership while I was still in the middle of the flip. Not from a safe place after winning, from inside the process. And what I found was that people show up for this series. The people who completed the homework and filled in the template, asked questions in the comments, shared their philosophy out loud for the first time, those people are exactly why I built this. Not because I already had it figured out, because we are willing to build it anyway. This membership is not what you build after you've made it. It is what you build while you're still in it. Gives you your content every single day. You have a problem. All you've got to do is pick up your phone and record what the problem is, how you solved it, and what the results were from that. Your content is created for you. You're doing it in the middle of your flip. So that when the market turns, and it will turn, there is something underneath that doesn't depend on whether or not your house sells. So you now have that system. You have the framework. You have the story. You have the philosophy now. The only thing left is to drop the pebble and let the ripples do the rest. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I will see you inside the community. Again, if you need a copy of the Content Clarity Framework template, just drop me a line. I'll be more than happy to send it over to you. There's no pitch, there's no funnel, there's no give me your email, nothing. I just want to give you the tools so you can complete the entire Content Clarity Framework and get your membership up and rolling. Thanks a lot.